What is going on, everybody? It's the Daily Fantasy Hitman, and I'm back at you with another CSGO DFS breakdown. Now, you know, day one was a little interesting. Sprout let us down, but the young ninjas ultimately came back and showed us what we were all so hyped about. You know what I'm talking about? But let's move on. Day two, we're talking about Flashpoint 3 now, okay? So it's a much more high caliber tournament, and thus you should expect more high caliber CSGO play, you know? So let's move into this first matchup. Ninjas in Pajamas, now going by NIP with that new green logo. We're talking minus 556 favorites versus the plus 359 dogs and Anonymo. I'm not sure if that's, anonymous, what they're really going for there, but Anonymo, the full Polish lineup. Uh, they're headlined by Kai. He used to play for, what team was it? Yeah, Aves, and he played with Kyler over there. So him and Kyler play with each other over at Aves. Minio coming over from Wisla Krakow. Innocent played with Mad Lions for a little bit, and then Snacks is kind of more of a veteran player. You can see here, he was really good in 2014, 2015, 2016. Kind of fell off a bit since then, right? But ultimately, still a really great player. Still a very tenured history. But the fact, February 2014 to June 2018, that was on LAN. A lot of his really good performances were on LAN. Then he took a little bit of a sabbatical here. Now we're talking online play, so it's a bit different for Snacks. This isn't his typical cup of tea when he was playing on Virtus Pro. On the other side, though, NIP, I mean, we're talking about a team that just got Device, and this is going to be their first official match with Device in the lineup. Now, that is massive. Device is coming in at around $10,000 tomorrow on the DraftKings. And to be honest, I don't know how you don't play him. Anonymo, not exactly world beaters here. They beat Movie Star Riders, they beat Pact, but they lost to Skade, they lost to Copenhagen, lost to Sinners again, lost to Movie Star, lost to Mouse Sports. Like 7-16 to Endpoint on a best of one. Like they did beat a few teams here, beat Ents, beat Double Pony twice, beat Dignitas and Sprout. So they're a decent team. They're capable of knocking off a few, pulling off a few upsets. But all in all, Anonymo not a team that I love. Now, if you do want some value, this is the guy, right? This is the guy right here. 192 opening kills, 13 4-kill rounds. That's over 51 maps. That's pretty good, right? You're getting that 0.5 bonus for every opening kill. Sometimes you want to see things like that, right? I mean, take a look at Kyler over here. 103 opening kills. When you're comparing that to the previous Kai, not even a question who you would consider, right? Now, things like this are going to be a bit misleading here, the map pool, because NIP, look at this, hasn't played for 5 weeks, and the stats are only going back 3 months, so, and none of those include Device in the lineup, right? But Device, he's always been always been solid on Dust 2. I expected Nanimo to ban that one out. I mean, Device is really honestly solid on every single map that he plays, right? Device, you're throwing him in with Rez. Rez is $9,000 on tomorrow's slate. Take a look. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. Take a look here though. 115 opening kills, 8 4-kill rounds over the past 32 maps. Rez is the top ADR guy, right? So Rez is that second guy now with Device in the lineup. Individual Hampus here, 104 opening kills, 8 and 3 aces, which is pretty impressive. He's actually coming in cheaper than Plopsky, right? Now Plopsky is that guy. Here, let me see if I could bring up a game. Plopsky is that guy where here's a good example versus Virtus Pro, plus 19, right? Here's one versus Ends plus 12. plus 9 versus vitality, plus 8 versus phase, plus 9 versus complexity. Right, now let's compare that with Hampus, right? Hampus, that same game versus Virtus Pro when Plowski went plus 19, only plus 1. That game right here, Plowski went plus 12, plus 8, right? Plus 5, uh, plus 6. You know, so the highest you're getting out of Hampus is this plus 11 right here versus complexity, right? Which, notice here, complexity again, plus 14. So maybe he just has a little thing against them. But yeah, Hampus is that guy. Like, I compare his playstyle as somewhat like a more reserved Kerrigan, if that makes any sense. Like, this dude is going through and making space. He's creating space. He's making plays happen, right? But he's not that like Plopsky's not gonna just head cut off, just run out train, right? He's not just gonna run out a main, right? But Hampus might, right? Because Hampus is that crazy dude, and you can tell it by the look at this 104 to 131 opening kills to deaths, right? Now let's take a look. Compare that to Plopsky, right? 85-66. Plopsky much more reserved in the duels he's taken, right? But what happens there is when you're facing a team like Anonymo, I think you might want that guy who's taking the more reserved, because Hampus is probably just gonna hop out and just he's gonna have a few rounds where you're like, what is that, right? But that's what happens when you're gonna be up 10-6, 12-6 and a half, and he's just gonna be running at people, right? He's not gonna have as much. It's not gonna be super close. He's not gonna have as much restraint. So we could see an unleashed Hampus here, and that could lead to a lot more deaths than expected. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Rez, you could tell Rez too, like a little bit more reserved in his duels as well. You see what I'm saying? 115 to 93. Hampus is dying like 30 more times opening versus the kills, right? Which is again very similar to a player like Kerrigan, except he's a higher fragging version of Kerrigan, because Kerrigan just doesn't get the kills the majority of the time. So yeah, I'm on NIP here. I prefer the top dogs, honestly. Device, Plopsky, Rez. You can always throw a little Hampus in there. I wouldn't touch ZTR just because, I mean, this is not good. you know, like I don't think he went positive yet over the past 3 months. Oh, right here, versus Vitality plus 2. So that's the only one, and then an even versus phase. But other than that, it's just way too much red for my liking. So yeah, I got an IP 2-0 there, likely over Anonymo. And then here we go. We got FPX versus the Hyenas. Notice too how the odds minus 500 plus here for NIP, but for FPX it drops down a bit, minus 286 here. Hyenas plus 208. Now you'll see why in a second, okay? Zen, this guy's way too cheap tomorrow. He's like 6,600. If you like that FPX route, I prefer you maybe go Zen, Madden, Farlig here, right? Farlig primary op. How do you tell? Go to stats, go to weapons. Op is the first gun with the amount of kills for him. Styko coming in very Stiko, not sure. But he's coming in as like the most expensive, like one of the more expensive guys on the entire slate. Like that's crazy to me. I wouldn't do that just because specifically look at that 28 maps, right? And then let's look at the individual 64 opening kill, 6 4-kill rounds, right? What was that 64? Let's compare that to a guy like Zen, 48. Okay, so 64 definitely better than 48, right? But what about a guy like Madden, 85? Yeah, like I don't know. Stiko's not. I don't even think. I think Farlig probably has more. Yeah, 87. Stiko's not like the crazy. He's more of that clutch player. So he's gonna be. I don't know. He's good. He's good, but he's not like 9,400 good. Like Madden is probably that top dog, tied with Farlig. So the fact that they're the two of the cheaper guys with Zen coming in as, I mean, look at Zen's resurgence over the past month, right? And this is of course just first 3 teams, but I mean, look at that. Skade, big G2, dude's going crazy lately. Okay, now obviously we need to temper our expectations here because look at this, right? It's not like some sort of switch just flipped, right? It's just the dude is just having. I mean, you see, he played the span in 1 to 2 days. He's just having, I guess, a good week. Like, I know it's more than that, but you know what I mean. Like, the guy had his individual skill on point. Because you don't go from this, I mean, -11, -9 versus something called Pampa, like, to just this, like, +22 versus G2, like, crazy. Anyway, though, these guys are all good. Like you look at things like this, he's played for, a lot of teams, right? Notice though, not too many top tier teams that this guy's been on, right? Teams for Madden, again, not too many top tier teams. This is the highest rank that a lot of these guys have ever gotten in their careers, right? So that's something that you really need to be thrown in there. Stico is probably the most, is probably the most reliable player on this team, like with the most pedigree, right? So compare that to this Hyenas team who's unranked and hasn't played a single map. Well, who are these guys, right? Why are they giving them a head-to-head right here with North? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because 60% of this lineup is from North and won multiple titles with North. Look at that. They played together. These guys played together for over 2 years. Gade hopped in there for a minute, played from 2018 to 2020 with them. And look at this, too. KJB was with Astralis before this for 2 years. So, Dignitas, Astralis, North, FaZe, and now they're starting their own organization, right? You remember Borup played with Heroic this year, was doing really well with them. Didn't end up working out. They replaced him with Refresh and Shush. But yeah, Borup here. You got Gade, you got Kyreby, you got Izzy, you got this dude Fesser. Let me just say this though, I do not think he should be the most expensive player on the team. Like this dude is not, he's not that crazy. We could take a look at his matches, right? Like barely played over the last few months. One good game there. Like I'm not seeing it. But one thing I do need to mention: who's going to be the primary op, right? Op kills. Look at this guy, 0. Professor. Is that short for professor? That's pretty good. Yeah, this is my point. I don't know who's going to opt for this team, which could be a little bit worrying. Let's go all time. Or we could do the last 12 months. Op. Like, not seeing an op. 14 for Borup. What am I looking for? How many does Gade have? 9. How many? I don't even think he's gonna have like any. 13, like. And then Gade 68, or I mean Izzy 68, right? So I hop on over here, Twitter, Kyr B, find his Twitter, right? So I'm just doing a little scouting. And I see this. Izzy op with the little hard eyes, little tag. Any tips to, pimp? I'm out. Interesting though, right? A little tease, especially with him having the most op kills of everyone on the team and everyone kind of being more known as primary rifler. I think that's really interesting. And I also think the most interesting thing about this matchup is the fact that FPX has no idea what the Hyenas are going to play on any map at any given time. They don't know their strategies. They don't know who's playing what positions. They're gonna figure all of this out on the fly. And this is where the Hyenas have the advantage here, right? So the fact that they have known about this matchup for a little while now, right? So they can take film on FPX and start to strategize, right? Start to come up with, all right, we're going to target this guy on specific maps, right? They can't. FPX can't do that about Hyenas. They have no idea what they've been doing. This team is unproven. I mean, this is their first match ever, right? So it's really a bit of a double-edged sword. Because on the one hand, you have FPX team that's really been overperforming and could just come in here and smash the Hyenas. But then on the other hand, you have a Hyenas team that's super dangerous. A lot of veterans. I mean, three I think three of these guys have 20,000 plus career kills. Gate has like 14,000 plus, and then this guy's around 1,500. So the fact this is a very, it's almost like a sleeping giant, right? Potential giant, just asleep right now because they haven't played yet, and they're like the little guy. I don't know. They're trying to fuck with him, right? And we'll see what happens because I think tomorrow the Hyenas are going to come out swinging. I think they're going to come out fast, come out aggressive, and I think a lot of these guys are just ready to get back to the professional scene. Izzy hasn't played for over 3 months. Neither has Kaiserby, neither has Gade. These are my three guys right here. I mean, they all played together at North for over 2 years. Like, that's massive. Borup is solid. He's a solid role player. He's not playing the primary positions, though. And I really don't know much about Fesser. I should probably watch more of him doing preparation. But yeah, ultimately, give me that. Give me Hyenas. Give me the underdog. Give me the, what was it, like plus 260 or something? Give me that all day. Give me IZ, Kasia Brigade. It's going to be a sloppy 2-1, though. That's how I see it happening. Either a sloppy 2-1 for either of these teams. Yeah, and that's my picks. I got 2-0 for NIP, and I got a 2-1 for Hyenas. If you want to sign up for, because I'm giving out, I've already posted projections and my specific picks and breakdown for Y on DFS Hitman, patreon.com/DFS Hitman. Right here, the esports package. We do League of Legends projections plus breakdowns for every slate. We do that for CSGO as well. And we just posted Call of Duty projections for today, so we're going to start doing that as well. And you know what? If you don't want to sign up, go ahead, just watch the video. Subscribe to my YouTube if you can, please, and let's have a good one. Good luck, everybody.